and welcome to the Just for Gamers video game podcast. Episode
226.
Where does the wind come from? In this week's episode, fucking Wreckfest buddies.
Yeah!
JfG Ash goes out on the town. JfG Alex fucking loves balls.
I love balls.
There's an interesting dating scene in the news.
Finger licking. Whole new level.
And finally, I kinda spoil A Tale of Two Sons.
Hello and welcome to the JfG Podcast. This is episode 226. My name is Alex and I'm joined as ever by my very good friend Ash. Hey buddy, how's it going there?
Hey buddy, as always, feeling good on a Wednesday, yeah. Sparkling thoughts give me the fucking hope to go on. That's the reaction I need every week to get me fully juiced. Ready. We're here. We made it, buddy.
You're alright then,
Yeah, mate.
We're here, but should we have come?
No, probably not. Sounders pound, all that shit. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I had.
Nice.
I've had a week. Let's talk about that week, mate. Fuck me. Firstly, gas is present. I mean, it's always a good idea to neck like half a pint just before doing the podcast.
Well, it's the only way you know you're ready.
Yeah, I've got to get loosed up or whatever. You know.
It's the loosed up.
Liquidated, I reckon. That's
Liquidizer.
Yeah. Also, my nickname, the Liquidizer.
Yep. The Liquidizer. He's always had a penchant for that sort of thing.
Not sure why, but yeah. The week has been good, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, Monday to Friday is just absolute balls, but Friday's pretty good. Game night, that was fucking good this week. Had the wheels out. Had 4 hours or 5 of just pure Wreckfest. Fucking awesome, but we'll talk about that later.
We will.
What you need to know, though, is I had a weekend without any children, which was...
me too!
Congratulations, I guess.
Welcome to the club.
I'm sure it felt as good for you as it did for me.
Yeah.
It was nice. So the kids got picked up at 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, which, Jesus. Wasn't great having to get up early.
Why?
And then, the grandparents, they took them down to London. That's where their, uncle? Yeah, their uncle lives. And
righto.
They stayed, all of them stayed there. On the Saturday, they went out and about, went to some fucking museums or boring stuff, whatever. I didn't really care.
London stuff. Those London types with their balls all shiny.
Yeah.
They like it down there. Yeah.
I couldn't care less what they did, to be honest.
No.
And then the next day, they went to Harry Potter World again, because it was the father-in-law's birthday present, and he took all the kids and stuff with him. Him and his missus, yeah. I had a kid-free weekend. So Saturday, after obviously shipping the kids off, went back to bed, stayed in bed till 1 in the afternoon. I was like, fuck it. I don't give a fuck. I'll do what I want.
That's a good run.
I went back to sleep until about 10:30, then woke up and just fucking watched TV. It was ace. Just watched some Mindhunter. It's an awesome show. You need to watch it. It's really, really good. It's really, really cool. If you like, serial killers and stuff. Which I think everyone does,
Who doesn't?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's
100%.
That's why I work in a prison, buddy, because I love them so much.
I've been watching the new season of Preacher, buddy. Have you been watching any Preacher?
I haven't been watching Preacher.
Oh,
is it a bit preachy?
That fucking show. It is a wonderful, wonderful TV show.
Nice.
Full of an intense amount of comedy, swearing and gore, a man with an asshole for a face, and Adolf Hitler having a conference with Jesus while they have some Starbucks.
No, you do.
While a man watches on with a foreskin for an ear. It's hard to describe what a wonderful show it is,
and it's just not coming into vision. Let's put it that way. Anyway,
it's very difficult to explain. All I can say is it's an absolutely fucking wonderful program.
Sounds good, buddy.
Everyone should probably watch that.
Yeah,
I would suggest. Yeah,
nice, buddy.
Gibbons.
So that took me up to about 1:30 on Saturday. Then I thought I'd better get up and got a shower. I felt pretty minging, having laid in bed for so long. And then, played some games for like 3 hours. I was like, wow, daytime gaming. Like without like the kids going like, oh, can I play? Or come and play with me, Dad, or whatever. I was just like, no, mate, gonna fucking play some Guild Wars 2. Get my fucking grind on. I was like, sweet, daytime grinding. Massive fan.
Given.
Then it was round about 4 o'clock and I had to get dressed at this point. So I put on a nice shirt, some nice jeans, and me and the missus went into town. I can't remember the last time. Yes, I've been into town. We did a bit of shopping. Well, she went shopping. I went and sorted out her phone bill, because it was like too expensive. So I saved 15 quid a month there. So I was well happy with that trip. Yep. Then we moseyed into, I think it's a place called Monty's. I don't really know. It's a bar, and on the fucking window is really big one, like long big windows in some kind of complex or whatever. It said like free arcade games. I was like, fucking, I want to play some free arcade games. That sounds amazing. So went in there. The arcade games that I thought were arcade games weren't free. The arcade games that are free are like beer pong or table tennis. I was like, they did have like, what? They had Time Crisis in there. They had the whole Pac-Man, the sit down 2-player one either side. And I was like,
nice.
They cost money though, so fuck that shit.
Right.
But I went to the bar and spent like £15 on a round of 2 drinks, which I was really happy about. But the good thing was I had a fucking lovely beer. I had, who was it? Those people that are making that Borderlands beer. Beaverton? Is it them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I had one of that. I think it's called Bevo. Stole the pint glass, obviously. Because it's a beauty. Look, if you're looking at the live stream, it says Bevo on it.
Yeah,
glorious pint glass. It's nice and rounded at the top. I like it.
A wonderful brewery, genuinely. Like,
absolutely.
Everything I've had of theirs, I've loved.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
So I didn't mind paying for that beer because it was really good. I mean, the strawberry daiquiri that my wife had was subpar. Let's put it that way.
I mean, that's literally like setting fire to banknotes, isn't it? Really,
pretty much. At this point, it was. So
you might as well just shove a $5 up your asshole.
Pretty much,
if that's what's going on.
But
what can you do? Fruit-based drink for the lady, buddy.
That's what she wanted. I was like, fine, you can have that. I'll have this really scrumptious beer. It was good.
Given.
It was quite nice. Like the decor was all kinds of, obviously retro, but it wasn't in any kind of, I don't know, retro is just old now, I guess. It's just like it had like 80s, 70s, 50s. Like they had plasma TVs that were playing bar billiards on from like 1973, I think it was. And then after the bar billiards was a foosball tournament, which I was pretty interested in, actually.
Gonna be, aren't you, really?
The guys playing it were absolute dweebs, let's put it that way, because, I mean, not really the sport of cool people.
That word doesn't get enough of a run out.
There you go.
In 2019. Yeah. Good shit.
Oh,
Good shit. Carry
bringing it back.
Yep.
But yeah, it was an okay place. My highlight, though, was there was some, like, water paintings of like English countryside, like a cottage with a river and a bridge, and then there's just a big fuck off Worms character in there. I was like, that's nice, I like that. That's
very
good.
Cool.
So that was decent, lovely beer, odd atmosphere, fucking annoying people, like really annoying people. This was a Saturday night and they were getting pissed and I was like, it's too loud in here. What is this all about?
I will say I do find that basically every time I leave my house.
Yeah, just annoying people.
Annoying people, buddy.
Like,
just
it's no
nightmare.
Well, these people, like, I saw at least 4 people wearing, like, is it like tweed shirts and tweed trousers?
Oh yeah,
is that cool these days?
Yeah, no, Peaky Blinders is back for a new season, buddy. So
gotta get your Peaky Blinders outfit out. I get you.
Absolutely, it's important.
Nice. Did see a guy in like full on like latex rubber gear though. That was interesting.
Okay,
you know, just
nice.
He was just doing some lunges in the street.
Right,
like you do.
Yeah,
I was fine with it. So anyway, I had a beer. Then we went for a meal at Loch Fyne. The what's it? Fishtown restaurant chainy thing, and it was fucking banging. It was,
and it's a good chain.
Really,
good chain,
really, really tasty. Started off with some garlic king prawns.
Nice. They
didn't last long. Had some nice bread to mop up all the oils and juices, which was tasty.
Given.
Main course, I had a king prawn, I think, and monkfish curry. I was thinking, it's going to be quite mild. Bit of monkfish.
Monkfish. He's a cool, hard-hearted detective.
He definitely
Get your knickers on and make me a cup of tea. And not many of our American listeners are going to get this particular.
No, they're not going to know it at all. But I mean, just I guess it's on YouTube. I guess monkfish. You could probably
monkfish. Search the Fast Show for a program that I don't believe would be appreciated by many of our listeners across the pond.
I feel like they'd get it a little bit after listening to this for so many years.
Listen to this for 200 odd episodes. They'll probably be in the spirit of the thing by this point. But sorry.
That's fine. So it came out and it was extremely spicy and I loved it. It was gorgeous. It was absolutely banging. And the missus had the full-on lobster. And oh my God, that was well good. I was like, I just need a bit of that. Yeah, that really juicy bit there out of the... Just give me that claw. Yeah, thank you.
Very nice.
She was like, I can't crack it open. I'm like, yeah, give it here. Fucking crack it open while I'm trying to pull all the meat out. Like, there you go.
Here it is.
Oh, no. Oh, you've been stuffed. There's none left in that. Oh, terrible. Oh, I don't know where it's gone.
It was empty.
Yeah, it was empty all along. So I had a bottle of wine and some other booze as well. And then headed home. Got home at like 8:10. I was like, wow. Normally I'm not even sat down by this point if kids are here, but I'm absolutely shit-faced and I've eaten lovely food. This is good.
There you go.
So obviously at that point I decided to play more games and get even more drunk, which was a good idea. Saturday was a great day.
It sounds like a good day.
It's literally been my best day in God knows how many years. Like, you can tell by my voice that I'm never going to forget that. It was beautiful. No. Sunday, not so good. Obviously, hungover a little bit. Had a nice fucking lie-in, though. That was a treat. And then just got on with shit around the house, did bits and bobs. But I didn't have people pestering me, so it was quite nice. I was just like, I can... just get the ironing done whilst watching the F1. That was great.
Well, speaking of the F1, while you're on the subject, buddy, did you also enjoy watching Charles Leclerc not get a penalty for forcing Lewis Hamilton off the track to win the Italian Grand Prix?
He did get a black and white flag, though. It was very naughty.
Oh, that's all right then.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do it again. Ooh. But you can win anyway.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Naughty boy.
Now, I'm not a fan of Lewis Hamilton, buddy, but that was a fucking travesty.
I mean, FIFA Fair Play should come into action there.
I don't understand the mentality of that decision.
No,
like,
I know. He clearly just moved
absolutely
across.
Yeah, and I still think that if Hamilton had gone through, Leclerc would have gone past him on the start finish straight a lap or two later anyway.
That Ferrari is redonk on that.
Yeah. In a straight line, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, they just fucking bottled it in that.
Yeah.
They were in Italy. There's a Ferrari in front.
Yeah.
There's a load of Ferrari fans in the stands, and they fucking bottled it.
Yeah.
And it was
Did you hear the fucking cheers?
Good race, though.
When he did it, though, all the cheers from the fans and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like,
well, yeah.
Fucking... Bloody eye ties.
Not the best.
Yeah.
bit of pride for your country there, I suppose.
Why not? Fuck it. Is he Italian then? I don't know. I thought he was French.
No, he's from Monaco, but Ferrari's Italian.
Wow.
So, and it was an Italian track.
True.
So
it is.
There you go.
In Italy, yeah. So Sunday, still a good day. Played a bit more games and stuff like that. Just, then the kids turned up and it all went to shit, really.
Well,
back to normality, back to work, sorting shit out. I'm off tomorrow though, which is nice.
Very nice.
But that doesn't mean I've got a nice day off. It means I've got to sort the kids out. So,
well,
I have got a nice 2-hour period in the morning though, where I haven't got to do shit all. So it's either play some games or have a nap. I don't know. We'll see. See how.
Both sound lovely, buddy.
Given's funny. Apart from that, buddy, I've been streaming my tits off in the evening, like couple of hours an evening, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, because I have been playing the new Gears of War game, Gears 5, and I'm going to stream the whole thing, I think, which will be quite fun.
Very nice. Why not, eh?
Gibbons, buddy. I will obviously talk about that later, once again. Sorry for kind of taking up a lot of time just about one day, but it was a fucking special day, buddy.
It sounded like a day of days.
Indeed.
In many ways.
So how have your days been this week, buddy?
Yeah, well, I'm counting down the days to my holiday. Whoa. I'm going away in a couple of weeks' time. In starting a new job at the start of the year, which has, frankly, a shite holiday policy.
Yes.
And they know it. I've had 5 days off so far this year. We're into sort of heading into second week of September now.
It's good. Good work ethic there, buddy.
So yeah, like I could kind of do with a cunting break, if I'm honest, break, at this point.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
So looking forward to that. But anyway, it's not been a bad week regardless, buddy. Of course, it was quiz night on Thursday, as it so often is, and by so often I mean every other Thursday. And of course, the mighty Trivia McDonald, fresh from our previous victory, buddy, in the quiz. We went down there. And it was Stoner Bashing time. The special subjects this week and all of the picture rounds.
Was it Jay and Silent Bob?
They were beer related.
Okay.
Yeah. And obviously we had our friend of the podcast, Funk, there. He knows beer. And I drink beer.
Yeah.
And friend of the podcast, Paul, actually also likes beer, which is just a coincidence.
I'll tell you what,
really,
if I was there, I feel like that would have just been about the same, really, because I also like beer.
There you go. I mean, it's odd that we all do like beer. It's just one of those weird quirks, weird foibles in the space-time continuum, I suppose.
It's like a daily routine, really. It's like breakfast now, to be honest.
Let's put it that way. And, of course, we once again won the quiz, buddy, meaning we've won 3 out of the last 4. We're on an unprecedented run right now.
This is silly.
We're starting to become universally hated at the pub because of it, and we're very proud of that and think it's funny. So, pretty good. That's pretty good. So, yeah, that was the quiz. Saturday shenanigans, touring some pubs and cooking in our newly repaired oven. I've got an oven that gets hot again now, buddy.
Yes,
so obviously
get in, buddy.
Decided to cook some food in it.
Nicely done.
Did a lovely chicken tray bake with some shallots and some peppers.
Oh, that's shallots.
And then I did some dauphinoise potatoes, buddy, in beer, which I've never done before. But yeah, like 200 ml lager in there with it while it's cooking.
It sounds like a waste of beer, that.
No, well, you would have thought so, but actually all it did was meant that the potatoes all tasted like beer.
Oh, hello. Piqued my interest.
There you go, buddy. Worth a try. Yeah, bit of beer, bit of onion, bit of parmesan, some potatoes, and mainly beer. And there you go. That's a nice thing. It's important that the oven was fixed, buddy, because of course we're entering roast weather TM as we hit September, and everything goes to shit, which is the UK way. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've had the gas fire on this week because it's been cold in the evening.
Been very cold.
I've also worn a jacket. this week.
Yep.
Once because it was raining, but the second time because it was just cold. It was
just cold.
Silly. Where's this cold coming from?
To be honest, it just happened.
Random thing came into my head the other day. Where does the wind come from? Just where does it come from?
Nobody knows.
No one knows. Like, I can feel it, but I can't touch it.
I think it originally emerges around sort of end of August time from a haunted cave on the coast of northern Scotland.
It's true.
And then it sort of just circulates around the UK and then heads off in other directions as well to perhaps other nations. That tends
it just gets about.
How it goes.
He's on a bit of a jolly.
Yeah, it was invented in a haunted cave, and that's kind of how it works. So yeah, it's been shitty weather. And speaking of shit, I was back in Medway on Sunday, buddy.
Fucking hell, did you get stabbed?
I didn't get stabbed. I mean, that's the only good thing I can say about the experience, really, was the fact that I went there and I left again and I didn't get stabbed. So that was really nice, actually. That was a pleasant surprise. It was cool.
Nice.
There you go. So, yeah, that's me, buddy. I suppose before we talk about video games, because actually that's the topic of this week's show.
It's true.
I probably do need to ask exactly what you're drinking this evening, buddy, on this fine Wednesday Eve.
Oh, well, this fine Wednesday Eve I am drinking the 1079 Project, buddy. It's dry hopped for a bright, refreshing and joyously crisp flavour crafted using 285 years of Dutch brewing craftsmanship. There you go.
Holy hell, that's remarkable, I would say.
It's a pedigree.
Yeah.
It's nice, buddy. It's cheap. What about you, buddy?
I am, as has been kind of tradition over the last few weeks, I'm back on the Hyde and Wild, buddy. It's an American-style IPA. It's got a bear on the front, and there are some little bear footprints up the side there as well.
Just hold it up so I can see it. I can't. Oh, yeah, I see the bear. There he is.
It's it's one heck of a journey, created for the British Empire, for a trek to the east. Pretty special, buddy. And it's barley and wheat and Citra and Summit in terms of the hops. So there you are.
Nice, buddy.
You're welcome.
Trophy Addicts has just popped in a message. He's been in the chat for a little while, but he says you guys could add another category to your podcast. AA. I mean, the thing with that is you've got to be anonymous. Maybe it's just
I mean, I'm not a member anyway. I drive a Fiesta, and I'm fully reliant on the fact that thing's not going to break down. So I've never needed the cover. Thanks very much for the suggestion.
I like the RAC or maybe green flag.
Yeah, Givens. Yeah. No. Yeah. There we are. No, I mean, you may have noticed, bearing in mind it was only a matter of months ago that I was regularly on the pint cans of Stella.
It is.
But I'm now on the 330ml cans.
It's pussied out.
Wild.
It's pussied out.
You could call it pussied out. I could call it buying half of something for double the price. And claiming that it's for health reasons. I think that's probably what I'll go with, buddy. So we'll leave it there and probably move on.
Taste reasons, buddy.
It's been a lot of games played this week, and we should probably fucking talk about some of them. So
Gibbons.
Let's go and do that, buddy. Let's go and talk about what we've been playing. Would you like to kick things off, buddy? I think between us we've played some interesting things this week. So, get the ball rolling, buddy. You mentioned Gears 5. How you been getting on?
Yeah, we'll go for that. I have played probably 6 to 7 hours of this game so far. Just all campaign. I haven't touched any of the multiplayer or the Horde or whatever the new mode that they put in there. I can't remember the name of it anyway, but so campaign-wise, fuck me. Gears is good. This is good. This is a really good game. It's fucking awesome.
Okay.
Firstly, I need to say, obviously, I'm playing this on PC, which helps because I can run it at 60 frames, no bother, on whatever fucking settings I've got. I think I can play it on like high to ultra when I'm not streaming, but when I am streaming, I have to knock it down to about medium because of the extra CPU usage and gubbins that obviously happens when you do your streaming.
Gibbon.
So yeah, firstly, this fucking game looks really good. Like it's I can't really compare it to like old Gears of War, because old Gears of War was brown. That was the color, brown and red. That's the color palette you have. Deal with it. This has got luscious different colors all over the place. There's big snowy vistas. The weather and detail in that is absolutely fantastic. There's moments where there's a big fucking storm coming, and I was just staring at it for about 5 minutes going like, that is incredible. Look at that fucking thing go. It looks really, really good. And you know, while I've been streaming, like I'll enter like a new area and just be like, this just looks. I literally just say that this game looks so good. It's incredible. Gameplay wise, it's your Gears of War in a nutshell, really. They've added extra stuff, so now, fuck me, bit of a little spoiler here. You have a little drone that follows you about. Starts off as this guy called Dave. I got a big bond with Dave. I was like, you know, Dave the Road. I called him a cunt and all sorts, but you know, he got the job done. And then unfortunately, Dave gets absolutely fucked up, and now we've got a new guy called Jack. And
no shit,
Jack's this fucking guy that's all. I don't know, he's all juiced up, you know, he's got all these bits and bobs about him, and he's got an upgrade tree, obviously, so, you know, you can make him stealth for longer, you can increase his, like, flashbang ability, so he can go over and flashbang people, bring him out of cover, which is very handy, I must say. He's also got, like, a shock type thing that you can do, drop, like, shock mines, and kills a load of people. So, he's, like, your kind of remote AI character that you can control about and help you out in certain things. Now, I've been playing this co-op with Trophy, and you can actually play this 3-player co-op where someone actually plays as Jack, which I'm not too sure is going to be any fun.
Yeah, I mean, it smacks of gimmick, that. I don't know if it actually is, but
first thing I thought of,
knee-jerk reaction, it sounds like a gimmick rather
the first
than
thing I thought
that would
of
be good.
Was The Division. Like, you remember the original trailer where some dude could come in as a fucking drone and be like, nah, mate.
Yeah.
Or Need for Speed Rivals, where you can, on your tablet, you can set traps for people and stuff like that. I was like, nah, mate.
Gibbon.
Anyway, yeah. So Jack's a bit of a ledge, but also he's no Dave, really. Dave's the man. Apart from that, you know, combat is still the same. Cover is... It works, but in situations it's a fucking nightmare, because it's not as good as, you know, the Division 2 or the Division's cover mode, where you can snap into cover quite easily and you can dodge out. I mean, that's any kind of cover game is going to get compared to Division 2 because that has set the bar so high. And in this game, you know, I'll be in a tight corridor trying to dodge away from some enemy that's kind of running at me. But no, I'll just end up hugging up against this wall instead of like dodging backwards and stuff. So issues there. Now, one thing I do need to stress though is I've been playing this on mouse and keyboard, and I'm finding the aiming like a million times better, obviously, because it's a fucking mouse. Whereas, you know, well, you've played them fairly recently, haven't you? The Gears franchises.
Yeah, I played the remastered of the original all the way through about 3 months ago, something like that, and then some of the second one before kind of falling away from it again. And
you know that like aiming and moving the right stick is very sluggish in that game.
It's fucking shite. Is what it is.
So I haven't got exactly.
It's really bad.
You know it, but yeah. Obviously, with a mouse, you don't have that issue whatsoever. So I'm dodging backwards, spinning around 180. Sorry, gas again. 180 with the mouse, shooting dudes in the face and stuff like that. It's a completely different game on mouse and keyboard. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm loving it, to be honest. Storyline wise, I can I get the gist of what happened in 4. Obviously, this is a follow-on from Gears 4 or Gears of War 4. Was it Gears of War or was it Gears 4? I don't even know.
I don't know. I've got it installed and I don't know. I still haven't played it.
There is a extremely brief, like previously on Gears kind of thing, where it shows you of like JD, Marcus Phoenix's son, being a douche and like the bird or whatever it is that's in it. You know, I'm fully invested in this story, as you can tell.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, I care a lot.
Enthralled.
But to be honest, I'm more interested in it now, having played it for quite a while. Let's put it that way. Yeah, it's a good campaign. Once again, I'm not too sure if it'd be any good on controller. I don't think I'd enjoy it as much because like I said, I played Gears 4 not so long ago. I played that on a controller, and it was I slated that game really for what it was. But maybe it's a case of I need to go back there with a mouse and keyboard and try it out. But we'll see.
Maybe, yeah.
Now, a lot of other, big companies that have had time or had this game before launch or whatever and played through it, they have been kicking the shit out of it for its attempt at open world. Now, I have only experienced the open world area twice. There's 2 open world areas. I've only been to the first one. I mean, Act 2, so I've got that to do, and then there's another one after that anyway. And they're saying it's completely dead. There's nothing there to do. It's a complete fucking waste of time. And yeah, I guess you could say that. I think it's on the lines of, you remember with Uncharted 4, the open world thing there, where
the Jeep bit.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking empty. There's not a lot to do there, but you can drive around and go and find some trinkets. That was about it, really, wasn't it? In the open world bit, if I remember.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'd compare it exactly the same to that, which I think was fine. They were trying something different in a, very narrow first-person kind of story campaign. They're throwing things in there. And, yeah, fuck it. They've done it. It's fine. I haven't got an issue with it, but apparently a lot of other people have. I don't really have any... I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really need to talk about, but I don't really... At this point, I think like I've definitely spoke way too much about the game than what I should have. But I've put my base values, I'd say, of the game out there now.
No, it sounds interesting. It sounds I've heard kind of, as you say, I've heard like mixed things depending on who you're listening to. But I'm looking forward to giving it a go. I should probably just get stuck in, to be honest, because
if you want to play for it, buddy, I'll do it with you. I've the main thing is I've really, really enjoyed this game. Its flaws are what it is, but I've really, really enjoyed like a bit of like co-op campaign. To be honest, it's been cool.
Yeah, well, that's novel in itself. Sometimes,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, nice. Oh, cool, buddy.
Nice. So other games I've played, I have subscribed to Uplay Plus. That fucking shit show of a thing. So yeah, if you haven't, the offer is still available, and you can get it till the end of this month. Just remember to cancel it pretty much as soon as you do subscribe to it, which I have done, because you don't want to fork out £13 for, let's just say, an absolute pile of wank. I went through the whole list. I was like, I don't want to play any of these games. Like, the only reason I got it was because one game, and that's Trials Fusion, which I have played. So I'll talk about that again, because obviously I've played it on the Switch previously, and it was fine. Amazing that they actually got it running on the Switch, because this game it still runs like absolute balls on my PC. I had to set the settings really low down for it to run at a smooth frame rate. It was horrible. It hasn't been optimized at all for it. It's a pile of wank. That's Trials Fusion, buddy.
And is it Fusion that you were playing, or is it the new one that you're
What's
playing?
the new one? What's it called? Rising. Sorry, not Fusion. Rising. Fusion was the old one, like 2.
To be honest, like,
it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Convention.
Yeah, no. Who cares?
The names are all shit, and it's kind of been getting progressively worse as a series. So yeah. I can't be asked really to play that game anymore. I think I've overkilled it. Yeah, it is. Like, it really is. Not a shame that it's not very good anymore, because it's a very simple a concept for gameplay mechanics that was done brilliantly and needn't have been done repeatedly afterwards.
Yeah.
And it's just a shame that they keep releasing watered down, worse versions of something that was brilliant 10 years ago. Then, video games.
Yeah,
So
I still think it's a very good game. It's well presented and stuff like that. It's got fucking loot boxes and all shit in it now, though, which is bollocks. But
Yeah.
I think the thing that annoys me mostly is to get to the really hard tracks, the ones that I enjoy, I have to go through all of this shit before I get it. Because I don't really care about getting through it as fast as I can anymore, like setting the fastest time and being the best and getting in the top 1,000 or whatever. It's a case of I want to challenge myself. I want to do the really hard ones kind of thing and see if I can get through them. But it's the case of I have to go through so much of these like basic tracks to even get to those stages. That annoys me. I think that's why I'm put off by it, which is a shame. Definitely.
Gibbon.
So yeah, Charles Rising, no Fusion, no, what is it? Yeah, Evolution, Rising. HD, yeah, whatever you want. Fuck it. It would be great if I hadn't played a Trials game before, I think.
Yeah.
So finally, buddy, I've been playing some Guild Wars 2 again, like I said earlier. I've got my mount now. I've got a couple of mounts. I've got some sort of raptor and a bunny rabbit, which is nice. And I've got a glider, so I can jump off stuff and glide about. So, yeah, I've killed some big bosses, because I'm that kind of guy. I say I mean like 100 other people killed him and I hit him once.
And you were behind them going, yeah,
I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and pretty much, buddy, that was me.
Nice.
Still enjoying it. It's good fun. I'll keep on going through it when I got time. So apart from that, buddy, obviously Wreckfest, but we will talk about that in the end. So I see that probably your favourite game of all time is on this list, buddy.
Oh, buddy.
Why would that be?
Well, we've been waiting a long time, ladies and gentlemen, but we're finally there.
Fucking hell.
We're finally there. Obviously, game of the gen, possibly one of the greatest games ever made. Celeste finally receives its free DLC. It's in the form of an extra chapter on the game. Chapter 9, Farewell, is the title. And as you would expect, it's fucking brilliant. So
there you go.
It's brilliant. This is a game that's on Game Pass. The DLC is just a free update on Game Pass. So if you're a Game Pass subscriber, then you just get this for nothing. If you've got this game on PS4, you just get this for nothing. What I will say is, obviously, I'm well out of practice. And this is not like entry level chapter. They said it was going to be pretty tough. They certainly don't handhold. Maybe they handhold for the first 3 puzzles, and then it's just rock hard, away you go. Fucking time to die thousands of times. So it's it's very much more of the same. I mean, they've introduced some clever mechanics here. The first one of which is very obvious, is an extra jump. So you could collect gems in the first game that allowed you to jump again after you'd exhausted your double jump to turn it into a triple. You've now got an extra, like a double gem, so you get another jump on top of that.
Double jump, double touchy.
Lots of it's rock hard. This is rock hard. I've got through
just
15
like you were
screens
while you were playing it.
Oh, I was so happy when this came out. It's wonderful. It's just a joy, this game. It's very hard to explain why. And it's not. And when I started playing Celeste, it wasn't the sort of game that I would normally really get into. I've never been a mega fan of platformers, or at least not since I was sort of 10.
Yeah.
But it's just a masterpiece. it was so nice to fire it back up. It was like meeting up with an old friend. The music like kicks in, and it's so beautifully presented, and it feels great to play. No clip in the middle of releasing a series of documentaries about how this game was made, which is obviously like fucking must-watch material for me. But yeah, it's wonderful. If you enjoyed Celeste first time round, pop back.
I did.
All updates and you've played as well, have you?
No, well, just the base game, you know.
And how did you get on?
I played it on the Switch, didn't I, buddy? Remember my train journey to Manchester where I played it for 3 hours straight?
Like this week or something.
No, I was just saying that I have played it, and I agree with you. It is a fantastic game. I do have it on my PC now, so obviously it's going to run even better. No, the main thing is that, it's... I don't have to use those really shitty Switch controllers, so I can use my PlayStation controller and play it. I feel like how it should be fucking played now, which is nice.
Gibbons. Yeah, I mean, I'd kind of... This was the game that got me used to the Xbox One controller.
Yeah.
Holding it for so long and doing so many intricate maneuvers on that controller.
Yeah.
It was the final piece of the puzzle for me being, like, completely universally comfortable with both controls.
I'm quite tempted to pick up, like, one of the decent Xbox One controllers at the moment. Because obviously with the PC and stuff... this like £24 one or whatever it is from Argos, the Power A one. I think you said you've got one as well.
I've got one of them.
Is it a big difference between the two?
Yeah, massive.
Yeah, I thought it would be.
It's shite, that one.
Yeah, it is absolute ball bags. That's what I thought. Yeah, I'm gonna have to invest, aren't I? Bollocks.
I really like it now. The Xbox One controller. Yeah. I was really unsure about the triggers originally. I just couldn't find the right spot to sit on them, and it just didn't feel very natural. But I'm kind of there with it now, and they're both very good controllers, I think, on both console.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I've no preference at this point between the two of them, if I'm honest.
I mean, at the moment, I'm definitely preferring mouse and keyboard to anything.
Gibbon.
But yeah, that will happen for a while now. I think it's very good fun. Sorry, buddy. Have you got anything more to add about Celeste and its new DLC?
No, I'll leave it there just to say it's wonderful. And if you like Celeste, then you need to play it. And if you don't like Celeste, then I don't know, weird, but okay. I wouldn't bother with this. So there we are. Before Celeste DLC came out this week, I was actually playing some Dead Cells, which has been added to Game Pass.
Oh, how are you finding it? Because that obviously platformer and shit.
I quite like it, actually, and I much prefer it to most of these sort of roguelikes.
Yes, that's how I found.
It's just more accessible. It doesn't seem to be trying to get you lost on purpose. You've got a map on the screen all the time. Like it just kind of it makes it like it's just a better user experience. Like your sort of hospitality sort of settings, I suppose. It's just less of a fucking pain in the arse. Having said that, the new Celeste DLC's come out, so I doubt I'll be playing
not going to go
for a while. But it's certainly on my list. Once I finish off with the new Celeste stuff,
that's good.
Dead Cells, I think I finally found a suitable sort of next platform to pick up after that.
That's cool, buddy. So, good. It is a good game from what I played a bit.
It's nice. I like it. It feels really good to play. Yeah, it's. It just feels very arcadey. It's very no nonsense. You can just kill enemies in a sort of satisfying fashion. A bit of hack and slash.
Yeah. There's some good dodging mechanics and stuff in it though as well.
Yeah, I really like the idea of like roll dodging through enemies.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
It is cool, and on a 2D plane, you would think that would feel really strange, but it doesn't. It feels very natural indeed. So, pretty enjoying that. It's good fun, and definitely pick it up once I've finished off with the.
Did you play Guacamelee?
I played a little bit of Guacamelee. I kind of bounced off it, but I have been thinking for a while.
No, you should give it a burn. It's good. Or was it the second one that I played? I can't remember. Which
both of them are on Game Pass.
Yeah, so, definitely worth having another punt at. I played a lot of that on the Vita. It was good.
Gibbon? No, I probably will go through that. But it's just platformers are just kind of Celeste and Rayman. Rayman was the first one that made me think, holy shit, I really like these. And then Celeste was like, wow, of course I do.
Yeah,
just kind of forgot. But yeah, anyway, that's those. That's some platformers. Let's talk sports games. Firstly, a very brief nod to Rory McIlroy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go on.
EA Sports game. Sort of partnership, but just fancied a bit of golf this week. I've been playing a bit of cricket as well, but I'm not going to keep going
on the
about
golf.
That.
Yeah, he just likes balls in general. He's a massive fan of the balls.
I love balls.
He loves balls. Let me just put that in the title. He loves balls.
I love balls. Thanks. I can't get enough balls.
Thanks
There's not
for
enough
that
balls
nugget
on the planet. Yeah.
All right.
Fucking love balls. Rory McIlroy Golf is a fairly fucking shite golf game that, thanks to the very hardly worked on mechanics of EA Sports golf games from, I don't know, maybe 2003 onwards, still retains a sort of level of playability that makes it semi-enjoyable, even though it's a shadow of those previous games. So yeah, there you are. I'm playing as my little created pro, and just playing through tournaments and stuff. And it's just quite a nice way to wind down before I go to bed. And that's really as much praise as I could possibly give it. So there you are. It's shite.
Yeah, it really
it's probably
is.
Worth.
It's terrible.
It might be worth a $5 of your money if you ever saw it for that price.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dream of paying more than that for it.
No, it's a bad idea.
And then on to, I suppose, more interesting for some people. It's the release week of FIFA 20's demo. It's finally arrived on the store, so that you can finally compare it with eFootball 2020 Pro Evolution Soccer Winning 11, or whatever that game is called.
Yeah.
So yeah, FIFA 20. Obviously, I've been keen to try this out, buddy. I'm a big football game fan, and I feel
footballs.
Like the last year has been very disappointing on the football game front from both camps. Really
sad days, really,
with all of their various problems. And so yeah, it was interesting. We've basically probably played much more FIFA 19 than PES 19 this year, and we've had quite a good time with it on pro clubs, I think, for the most part, or for a lot of the part.
It's been okay.
It's been all right, but obviously it doesn't play nicely like PES does in the way that it's kind of got that analog feel to it. I've never really rated the Frostbite engine for this purpose. It doesn't seem to make sense to me. I don't think
it's not really made for football, is it?
No, and I don't know what it's made for at this point, because I think every time they release a Battlefield game,
wasn't it the running mechanics were a big thing, or mantling? I think when it first came out, I vaguely remember that shit.
It's just there it is anyway. And then you never know. FIFA 20. I mean, a couple of the big things that they were talking about. Various range of movement options. The street football thing that you can play, Volta,
FIFA Street. Called.
So it's basically like FIFA Street. Nice. So I was very interested to see, if they've made sort of strides forward here, and how it feels to play, and hoping that it feels a little bit better than the last game, because the last game just felt a bit stodgy to me. And this is a terrible game. This feels fucking awful, absolute miserable experience.
Good news for everyone.
It looks exactly the same as last year's game. They've slowed the pace of it slightly, and that just further reinforces how miserable the control system is in terms of how completely on a track it is, how the ball's trajectory is completely predetermined, and it doesn't matter what happens while it's in flight as to where it goes. This continuing issue where if a ball comes across the field and I've got a player running towards it, and it ricochets off like another player and heads off in a different direction and goes very close to another one of my players, but not the one that I'm controlling, I cannot switch to that player who is close to the ball.
That's handy.
Player even if this player is 50 yards away, the one that the ball was originally intended for, he will run all the way to the ball. There is nothing you can do to stop him. You can't super cancel. You can't do anything. You can't switch to the player that it's sensible for you. Meanwhile, the opponent that you're playing against, they're not locked onto the ball, so they've got free range of movement for all of their players, so they can just select the nearest one, run through. It was an issue on 19. It seems more of an issue on 20. The shooting feels stodgy and digital, and like it's basically going in 3 or 4 places and never anywhere else. I'm getting the feeling that I keep missing by exactly the same amount, regardless of what I do, which is just a classic FIFAism and always has been.
Yeah.
Once you've traipsed through 15 menus advertising Ultimate Team and
love it.
Pre-order to get Messi and,
get that Messi.
You know, you get these FIFA points and FIFA packs and then I played the Volta and that was fine. Like it was okay. It certainly felt a little bit better, but I think that's the reason it felt snappier is because it's more zoomed in.
Yeah. Okay.
So and the something that's I suppose quite interesting and vaguely commendable here is in the Volta mode. Obviously, it's a 5-a-side goal. It's quite small. And as such, the shooting is completely manual.
Oh, okay.
Or it certainly felt completely manual. You've got a sort of directional arrow, so you can see where you're aiming.
Yeah.
But there didn't seem to be any locking on. You don't hit. If you hit shoot and you're facing the other way from the goal, it will go away from the goal.
Yeah.
And that's going to mean that in terms of passing the ball around and then taking shots, and
it's more accurate.
You're going to have to be more skillful.
Yeah.
It's going to feel more rewarding.
Yeah.
It's basically doing something that FIFA doesn't do. And as such it's a good thing.
Nice.
But yeah, I turned off the FIFA 20 demo, and by the way, I gave it a couple of hours. Like I played it extensively. I wanted to test it really sort of carefully. And I fired up the PES 20 demo. And it's a fucking joy. It's an absolute. It's just in comparison with FIFA, it is just an absolute delight. PES 20. It's just feels so. You just feel like the shackles are gone. You're fucking free to do what you want, for better or worse. Often for worse.
Yeah.
But you can do whatever you want, and the ball will go wherever you want. And if it bounces off someone, then it could go anywhere. And yeah, the ref's a bit hot on the whistle, but at the same time, it's trying to be simmy, and that's the modern game. Yeah, so that really was kind of the end of it, really, in terms of this football argument. We're not planning on buying either at launch. PES is out. PES has been out for a week now.
I didn't even fucking notice. Oh yeah,
no.
That's how much I pay attention to out this week, isn't it?
Well, PES is out, and FIFA is out in a couple of weeks' time.
I do remember it coming out last week now.
We're not going to buy either of them at their full prices.
No.
And I think it's highly likely that once PES hits sort of 30 quid, then I'll probably jump in at that point.
Nice.
Because it's a fun game, and I'm going to want a football game for the year.
Yeah, of course you are. You want them updates, buddy.
But yeah, FIFA, fucking hell, it's just creaking under that game engine. Like, it's just, and this is the most popular piece of media in the world, and that's inclusive of games, movies, and music. FIFA is the top selling product on the planet in sort of media of the whole of the world. And for a game that has that sort of revenue to stagnate the way that this one does is just exactly what you would expect, but fucking pathetic and absolutely not good enough.
Yeah, no, totally. And like you say, the most selling media is not like the highest sales, because obviously, like, you know, Tetris, GTA, and all that lot, but because it comes out year and year and year after year, or whatever, it's a constant earner. And like you say,
the annual video game sales,
fucking insane.
It makes hundreds of millions of dollars every year,
and it's still really shit. And
it's barely
game
moved
mechanics.
Forwards since like 13 or 14. It's barely moved forwards. it's fucking pathetic.
Was it 14 the first one we had on the PS4? I can't remember.
I think it was 12. Or was it 13, 14? It was around that time.
I want to say it was 14.
Console came out at the end of 2013.
Yeah, so it'd be 14.
So it'd be 14.
Yeah, it was 14.
And I remember enjoying that game, but it was the bells and whistles of it being...
of course it was.
But also it was trying to do less, so the engine was suffering a little bit less as well.
Yep.
Really, graphically, I've never known a new football game to come out and look so similar to the old one. Like, it's amazing. I can't believe it. It just looks the same. Like, I don't believe I'd be able to tell the difference. If you showed me screenshots of the two games and gave me sort of a pop quiz of 30 like screenshots, I wouldn't be able to tell at all. Like, shocking.
Oh, well. It is what it is, buddy. It is a punch.
Anyway, moving on. Wreckfest, buddy. I've talked about Wreckfest a fair old bit.
Yeah.
We played hours and hours of it on game night, and it was your first proper foray into it, like on the wheel.
On a wheel, buddy. Because
what are your thoughts?
We booted it up straight away after the podcast last week. And I was playing on a controller, and I enjoyed it on a controller. It's because it's an arcade racer, so I feel like you can play it like third person behind the car, twat about with a controller. Don't really make a difference, it's all good. But fuck me, with a wheel, this game is absolutely awesome. It's so much fun. When you set your, steering saturation down? I think
you got to sort of halve the saturation, really.
Because I did one race where it was on full or whatever, and I was just like, I can't turn this car. This is ridiculous. And then a friend of the podcast, Paul's like, oh yeah, you need to change this. I was like, oh, thanks, buddy. Sorted it.
Gibbon. And then there was a bug where the steering settings didn't save each time you closed the game, but they have fixed that.
They fixed that now, which is nice. And yeah, I had a whale of a time. It's that kind of, I don't know if I said it last week because of the old Drive Club getting taken off the store. Obviously that's fucking gone now, and that was a great arcade racer. And this one's just appeared, which is kind of taken over Drive Club's situation as great arcade racer. But I feel like this one's going to last longer than Drive Club, mainly because one, it looks fucking gorgeous, and two, it drives really fucking well. Like, the drifting is absolutely fantastic in this game.
So good.
When you catch it right and you can feather that throttle and just really go to town on it, it's awesome. And I can't really remember what you said about it last week, unfortunately, buddy, because I've been quite pissed since then.
It was a while ago.
It was a while ago. But yeah, it's a game where if you're out to win the race, you're going to have a bad time, because more than likely you're not going to win a race. You're just going to get battered about and maybe get in a couple of tussles and see where it goes from there. I'll tell you what, most of the time all these tussles have been fair. It's very rare that I've come up against an absolute cunt that's just driving the wrong way round the circuit, taking you out. And it seems like the community are kind of getting behind it, which is good. Very
definitely good. It's the sort of game where if you're driving along and you could turn ever so slightly to the right to absolutely fuck someone, then that's what you should do. But you shouldn't go out of your way and ruin your race to hit someone else. And no. That's kind of the crowbar of separation. And it seems to me like people are pretty fair, and I've also had some really good races online with people who do want to race. If you get clear of the field and you're up there with the top 3 or 4, then invariably, if they're up there and they're fast, it's because they raced properly, and you can have actually some really good battles with people, not necessarily being heavy contact.
No,
just
totally.
Really quite tidy racing.
It's quite interesting because you're not locked to a class. You can play any kind of class. So obviously in one race I went as a lawnmower when everyone else went as normal cars. I survived 75% of that race until I got killed. It was good.
I did a figure of 8 in the career mode with 24 sofa cars. So you're on a 3-piece suite.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Figure of 8 with a jump in the middle.
Beautiful. That's what you want.
Yeah, I mean, the way that it feels is just amazing, really. For a game like this, you just would never expect it to have such feel to it and such, like, dynamic mechanics to it. But it's the way that, because the cars aren't, like, mega fast either, because they're just, like, banger cars and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the joy that comes from not just, like, sliding it round a corner, but managing to, like, keep the throttle up as well. So you, like, the amount of drift is bang on for keeping the acceleration up as well, because otherwise it just sort of bottoms out like a real car. And it's so good, isn't it?
Totally fucks you, like, when you come out of the corners and stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot of skill to this game, and there's a hell of a lot of fun, I must say. And I can't wait to get back on it, to be honest. Probably fire it up after this, buddy, if you want.
Agreed. Yeah, given. Sweet as the punch. Yeah, love a bit of it. Fantastic game. Yeah, and at a bargain basement price at launch as well, buddies. So
yeah, man, £35 at launch, like that. That's a steal. It absolutely is a steal. It's incredible.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. There's some games. We've played some games. Now we're going to talk about some more games, not necessarily that we've played.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go and do that. Now it's time for the news. Fucking news. Alright. Number one. What is this? Because I know nothing about it. Okay, so a quick mention about Borderlands 3, which of course is out, or rather, it will be out by the time you listen to this, unless you're on the live stream, in which case it's nearly out. All is clear. So yeah, Borderlands 3, they wanted to get some reviews out there, I suppose, before the game launched, and traditionally you would send review code, or I think traditionally kind of Steam keys at this point is the sort of classic way to allow,
and maybe pay someone off as well.
Well, it's an option, buddy. It's always an option that you can explore. But yes, publications get review copies or Steam keys, and then they review the game, and that's that. Back in the day, you used to get like debug versions sometimes before the game shipped, and you'd have to take that with a pinch of salt and mention it if you wanted to mention it. What Gearbox has done here is run into a little old problem called the Epic Games Store, in which obviously it's launching exclusively on the Epic Games Store on PC, and so it would appear that all of the reviews of the game that are currently available are from an Epic Games Store key that was given to each individual reviewer, bearing in mind only a very small handful of publications actually got the review copy, and I'm not talking about just like all the major ones got them. Eurogamer, for example, for some reason weren't sent any sort of key, and so haven't reviewed the game yet, and their review will go up several days after the game's out.
It's been out, and they've got time to play it.
So the version that downloads when you use these keys on the Epic Games Store is like an alpha.
Ooh.
And it's got a shit ton of bugs in it. It's even got stuff in it, for example, some sort of cutscene where before the section of the game loads, a literal text box appears on the screen saying, this might blah-de-blah, this could go wrong if this happens, this is how to get out of it, type thing. So it's like a fucking like pre-release debug version. And as far as I can tell, what's happened here is Gearbox has said, this is an early version of the game. This is not the version of the game that will
it's not
release.
The final release or whatever,
The full version won't have all these bugs in it, so please don't mention all of the bugs. And a series of publications have released Borderlands 3 reviews off the back of this copy without mentioning all of the problems with it.
Right.
And they don't
real know if it's been fixed,
of whether it will be fixed going into the final version.
That's good news.
several of the more scrupulous companies, I'm talking like Kotaku and Polygon, for example,
The
laid
people
it all out.
Yeah, they don't
made
give
it very
a fuck.
clear.
I like those guys.
They said this is a fucking early version. There were all these problems with it and so on. Most people haven't got a review out anyway, but basically, it's just really weird. Now, Gearbox released a statement saying that the reason that they didn't send the games out in a traditional fashion was for security reasons.
Sure.
I don't really understand what's going on there. I mean,
I reckon cyber terrorism.
Well, this is a full hard launch of a game that you can find hours of gameplay footage of already online.
Yeah, stupid, really.
It's not been hidden behind closed doors in a sort of Half-Life 2 kind of way.
Fallout 4 kind of way.
Yeah. I don't really get it. Either way, any review you read, if it doesn't mention what copy they reviewed, buddies, then probably take it with a pinch of salt, I would say, because it's probably fucking meaningless.
Talking about alphas, like that fucking Ghost Recon Point Break, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it was terrible. It was so bad. It was like, graphically, it was just awful. Things popping in and out everywhere. And then the actual gameplay was just shit. I'm some dude dropping in on this island where cyber terrorism's gone mad. Or something like that, I don't know. Some cyber tech thing's taken over this island. And then it's just a case of going through, killing a few dudes, go to the next open area and kill some more dudes. Get on a bike, get stuck inside of a bridge, try and get out of the bridge, make it to... gun it up some mountains, kill some more dudes on the way, and then I believe I ended up in a hub area like Destiny, and then at that point I turned it off because I was like, fuck this game. There you go. That doesn't
sound great.
No, it was awful. It was fucking terrible. Obviously the beta's out now, or has been out, and people have been talking about it. I couldn't give a fuck, to be honest. From what I played, I was like, this is awful. I played it on a PS4 Pro, so it's like, it's not the standard PS4. It's got a bit more extra juice in it and stuff, and it was still fucking awful, buddy. So yeah, but then again, that was alpha state, buddy. So then,
yeah, or review copy state. As
it was
Gearbox
review
calls
copy state. Yeah, there you go. So there you are. There's that.
So yeah, just a public service announcement there. Breakpoint's a pile of shit, and don't trust any of the reviews for Borderlands 3. So there we are, buddies. Public service announcement.
There we go.
And we will move on to number 2, which is a smattering of news that kind of came up in Nintendo Direct, but also affects a few other platforms as well.
Okay.
So we've got Divinity 2 Original Sin Deluxe Edition coming to the Switch. I don't know how they're going to get that to run on the Switch. I can't believe they've got that running on the Switch. We've got Doom 64. That's going to be running on the Switch. I don't know how they're going to get that to run on the Nintendo Switch. I
can't believe that they're going to get it running. But just quickly, Trophy Addicts has just put something in. Some people say it's because it's alpha or beta, but look at all the bollocks of Anthem. So, yeah.
Gibbons. Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah.
Probably don't pay any mind to those particular fucking reviews.
No.
And,
sorry, buddy. Cutting up.
No, it's fine. No, it's quite right. So yeah, Divinity Original Sin 2, Doom 64, Vampire or Vampire, if you want. They're all coming to Switch. They were announced during Nintendo Direct.
Gotta love that Switch.
That happens sporadically. That presumably someone watches, but also and more importantly, Jedi Academy and Jedi Outcast are having full proper ports to the Switch, but also the PS4, and they will be launching in early 2020. I never played Jedi Outcast, and I've always wanted to, and so even though this is obviously like nostalgia a go and blah de blah. And even though Jedi Academy is a game that I can play on the Xbox if I want to, and haven't, I'd quite like to play through Outcast, and I may well do that if it's a reasonable price, which it won't be.
No.
So there we are.
We'll pick it up in a sale, buddy.
Gibbons. Next, PlayStation UK, as in official PlayStation UK, put out a contentious tweet this week, finally confirming once and for all that the X button on a PlayStation controller is actually not an X at all, but a cross.
Sure.
So it's square, triangle, circle, and cross.
Right.
But I call it X, and
it's an X, mate. Really.
I'm not going to stop doing that. So
it's quicker to say X than cross.
Yeah.
Or not quicker, but easier. Because it's one letter.
There was a guy who posted something on Twitter that I saw. Eurogamer posted this as well. Crosses have the same distance between each stick. Crosses form a square, whereas X's don't have the same distance between each stick. X's form a rectangle. Basic geometry, he says. Fuck you.
Fucking nerd.
You fucking dweeb. We don't care what you think. We don't care about basic geometry.
It's looking right, though. I'm looking at the Xbox and the fucking PlayStation controller. It looks, but also, fuck that cunt.
How many Digitals do you see modelling? That's
exactly
what I would say.
Trophy Addicts up with it is where fuck that shit. I'm calling it X.
I'm calling it X. And if they wanted me to call it cross, then they should have come out a bit sooner.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
I know. Right, maybe like 25 years ago. When did the fucking PlayStation 1 come out? 96?
95? 96.
Yeah. There you go.
Should have done that. Should have got on that.
Yeah, maybe.
You've had time. It's too late now. Don't care about geometry. Moving on. There's pets coming to Sea of Thieves as part of their exciting new microtransactions store.
Love microtransactions. Sign me up. Oh, Gears of War 5 is fucking riddled in microtransactions as well.
Of course it is. It's a modern AAA video game. So that's standard now, and apparently no one has a problem with it. So,
I'm fine with it. It's all good.
No, everyone's just numb to it. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Fucking love it.
Yeah, excellent. Just everyone keep buying those games.
Yeah. And, while you're talking about these monkeys and things, it's actually parrots. Yeah, they're also called things, I believe. Yeah. There's I'm just going to nip in with a little cheeky Ash's news favourite thing of the week here. Probably my favourite thing as well of the week. Obviously there was a live stream of Sea of Thieves Rare Dudes. It'd be better if it was Rare Dudes. Bigging this up, and they had a monkey on their live stream, and that monkey threw up and shit all over this dude. It was pretty funny to watch. There's also a report come out today that the monkey who barfed and pooped on the Sea of Thieves during the live stream is doing just fine now, so he's okay.
No, that's good news.
Good news story of the week.
That'll be, I don't know, $8.99 if you want that monkey or whatever.
Yeah, gotta get that monkey, mate.
Just get stuck in.
Need that
just
shit.
Buy that.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah,
just go for it.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves there. So, talking of video games, huge improvements to the performance of the game Control, which launched broken.
Yeah, terrible on consoles, wasn't it?
Yeah, so the PS4 version has been patched now, and apparently the is significantly better to the point where you could almost call it like a video game performing adequately at this point on PS4. Xbox version still cunted, buddy. Technical term, cunted. And of course the PC version poorly optimized, despite the fact that you could have unlimited power at your fingertips. So that's worth noting as well. There you are. Just a callback to the Borderlands 3, just a quote I remembered from one of the reviews that I read. It specifically told the reviewers to not use DirectX 12 because the game didn't like that.
That won't happen. Yeah.
I just thought I'd mention that. Anyway, there you are. So yeah, Control is semi-fixed on PlayStation, just in time. So that's good. Still not there on the other platforms yet, but we'll keep you posted, buddies. And that's a game that we'll pick up in a sale that we otherwise would have probably paid full price for.
Yes.
Because they didn't finish it before they released it.
What? Why would they do such a thing? That's crazy.
Yeah. And we've got some sort of just general like scruples there, so that's what's happened.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Gibbons. Moving on, Apple's new game subscription service is called Apple Arcade.
Sign me up. Yeah, we did.
It will launch next month. It will be $4.99 a month or £4 per month in the UK. There's a free trial available, and there's going to be games on it and stuff. And if you want to know what they are,
games and stuff. What is the stuff?
I want to know what the stuff is. Google that. I don't know, buddy. I don't know. That's all the detail I can provide from what I've read. I've done a bit of a news favourite thing there, and I just was reading the article, and then I was like, why am I doing this? And then I stopped. So there you are.
Fine. That's fine,
Finally,
mate.
from me in the news, buddy, Pairs launches. As we know, Pairs has launched with all of last year's football teams. They haven't updated any of the rosters from last year. So, yeah, that's great. Konami has responded, though. Don't worry. They're offering everyone 500 My Club points to spend in the My Club mode. Maybe get a player pack and see what you get from a random spin. But it's not gambling.
It's not gambling.
So video games, that'll do for me, buddy. I think it's probably time for me to hand over to you for my favourite section, and I'm sure the listeners as well, and that of course is Ash's News Favourite Things of the Week.
If you like news but hate information, you have found the right place. Ash's News Favourite Thing of the Week.
Oh, cheers, buddy. So, I've already spoken about the monkeys shitting and throwing up everywhere, which is always good. Here we go. Nintendo being a corporation, I guess, that want to get as much money as they possibly can, as always. Nintendo wins a UK High Court case to block piracy websites. This is apparently over like 1,000 websites or something stupid that are going to get fucking blocked because, you know, fuck you, really.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
it's pretty understandable.
You know, your internet is not your internet, it's our internet, and we're going to tell you what you can and can't look at, I guess.
Is that region specific? Can you circumvent that with a VPN, or is that...
Yeah, blatantly. Okay. So it says UK ISP internet service providers Sky, BT, TalkTalk and Virgin Media to block or at least impaired access. Oh no, sorry, to 4 websites, not 1,000. My bad.
Well, thousands of ROMs, I suppose. But,
yeah, exactly. I think that's where I got the thousands from. To help distribute pirated Switch games, modify hardware, and other fucking shit.
And when they say Switch games, they're talking about the SNES and NES ROMs that run on the Switch as well, that they've actually ported over, and some of them they actually stole from ROM sites a few years back because they didn't have copies anymore of the original versions of the game. So yeah. But no, that's fine for them to protect their intellectual property, whether it's their copies or not, buddy. It's their software and kind of understandable, I suppose.
There you go. Well, fair dues, buddy. Yeah. Finally, I mean, I said earlier that the monkey story was my favourite news story of this week, but I mean, this might top it. Everyone remembers the Burger King games. They were fantastic. Old Sneak King or whatever it was back in the day. KFC now is making a dating sim game with Colonel Sanders.
Of course.
Yeah.
Why not?
So there you go. Comes the world's first Colonel Sanders dating simulator. Yeah. Trying to find if there's anything else, like more information about this, but fuck knows. Here we go. Promised to feature 9 lovable characters, a secret ending, secret recipes, cooking battles, battle battles, 11 herbs and spices, a dateable Colonel Sanders, and much, much more, buddy. I mean, it looks like one of those Japanese dating sims, just with Colonel Sanders banged in there as like some weird fucking anime Colonel Sanders. Is brilliant. I want to play
And they've
it.
got previews here as well, haven't they?
I
Because
know.
there was that KFC. Well, they called it the new employee training game. That VR game came out 2017, I think it was, or 2018, and that was like a full VR game for the Vive and the Rift, or it might have just been the Rift. But yeah, KFC, no strangers to like quirky, gimmicky games, and yeah, there you go. This looks funny.
Yeah,
I watched the trailer.
it looks fucking
looks really
stupid,
funny.
doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go, buddy. That's it really for me. I haven't got any more. Yeah, that's my news for this week. Pretty short, but pretty fucking good.
Oh, it was compelling and rich, buddy. Thanks very much. That was your news, of course. Before that was my news, and that, ladies and gentlemen, was the news. And now it's time for Out This Week.
Let's take a look at some games coming out this week. Probably filled with microtransactions, the crazy pay-to-win mechanics. Because fuck you all. Fuck you all. Fuck you all. Fuck you all. Buy our shit.
And that's out this week, buddy. Are we still in this golden release time, I believe?
Well, I think it might have been... they got us juiced up and they've left us dangling here, buddy, because last week we had several sort of big titles launch, and this week, no. But we got some games. Anyway, Groundhog Day, Like Father, Like Son, which is a officially licensed Groundhog Day game where you play the son of Bill Murray's character from the film Groundhog Day, find yourself in all of the locations of Groundhog Day. And,
Obviously.
it's basically a Groundhog Day game where you're Bill Murray, as far as I can tell. It looks quite well done and quite funny, and is the sort of thing that we will certainly pick up when it is reasonably priced, which is not yet.
That's a shame.
But it's out on PSVR, Rift, and Vive, and I expect you'll see a fair old whack of it on the old YouTube this week.
Yeah,
if you're a bit of a Let's Play fan, so
It's going to be interesting, let's put it that way.
Gibbons. Elsewhere, we've got Reign of Reflections on PC, which is a story game, kind of old school sort of cinematic graphic novel-y type story game. We've got Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening coming to Switch, because why not?
Yeah, mate.
Can't
Why
believe
not?
they've managed to
It's another game that they've
get that
managed to
running
get
on the
running
Switch there.
On the Switch.
Don't know how they've done that.
Check that shit out.
You've got the Sojourn on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, which is a first-person walking sim, sort of first-person puzzle adventure game with a name that's very fun to say.
I like it.
The Sojourn. So there you are. That's on those
I believe
platforms.
the J is silent.
It's a sort of je sound, like a sort of brush or
Yeah.
jus,
Yogi.
as in jouer
Yeah.
or foot, or jus if you're
Je suis.
foreign. So
Johnny.
yeah, there you go. The Sojourn there. And then finally, buddy, and probably most importantly, the biggest AAA release of the week. I don't know if you've seen any footage of this particular piece of software in
I
action.
have,
but,
yeah.
it's just on PC for now, but I'm sure it'll arrive on
Hello.
the consoles at some point.
Yeah, of course it will.
And yeah, that of course is Untitled Goose Game, which
Yeah, it
arrives
is.
on PC this week, where you play a naughty goose. I suppose, I mean, they're all naughty from my
naughty.
experience.
Naughty.
This is a sort of isometric adventure game where you play as a goose.
There you
and
go. That's what you want.
it looks fun to me. I like the look of it. I'd
Yeah, it
definitely
does.
play it, and I will do when it inevitably launches on Game Pass in a matter of months. But
Yeah, it will.
if you can't wait, buddies, then that's out on PC this week, along with all them other titles, what I just said about, because this section, of course, is called Out This
Out this week.
And now it's time for Fuckwit Corner.
Fuckwit Corner with Funk. Fuckwit Corner with Funk. He's got some questions for Funk.
Has he got any questions for us, buddy?
He just wants to check in with what he's playing, I think, and he says this.
I must say, I'm kind of liking that Fuckwit Corner is just now like Funk's update on his games that he's playing. So I feel like we need to move it into like what games we've been playing this week.
Well, to a degree, and I mean, it could have gone in there because he's been playing a game that I played this week.
Whoa!
I played this game this week as well.
You're crazy.
I have a slightly differing opinion of it.
Okay.
Fun. But we'll read out what he says first, and he says this: balls deep in Kingdom Come Deliverance, buddies. 47 hours in, and it's just a great fucking game. It is mecha super deep.
Balls deep.
47 hours.
That's incredible. When did he start playing it?
Like 2 weeks ago? Maybe less? Holy shit.
He's been doing some late nights and early mornings.
It sounds that way. Gibbons. Yeah, so Kingdom Come Deliverance, how much did I play? Maybe
10
3
minutes.
hours.
Okay, 3 hours.
Maybe less. Maybe we'll say 2 hours.
Yeah, okay.
I really struggled. Really struggled with the voice acting primarily. I really struggled with. It's a cool idea. Like the intro is like amazing, and I was really hoping that it would be like medieval simulation Skyrim, and I suppose it kind of is. And it sounds to me like Funk's pushed past like the fucking like gristle and found a bit of a gem here.
The jank,
suggesting that maybe I should try a little bit more of it, but. Yeah, I very poor impressions for me. I mean, obviously, I'm playing it on a very underpowered Xbox machine, on my little shit heap, and it's not happy. It's not happy running it. But yeah, I just struggled a little bit with the jank, like the voice acting, and that's just like quite awful. And then I mean, I was doing the tutorial quest and that was fine. I was struggling with the combat as well. I'm sure it's all stuff that you would kind of pick up and get over after a short space of time, but I did not manage to push through. Either way, it sounds like Funk's having a fucking blast on this thing.
Yeah.
So if you like your sort of first person RPGs, then get stuck in. I mean, the fighting mechanics and stuff are really cool in that you've got like the triggers and the bumpers to do your individual like hands and legs. Yeah. So you got like quite a cool like tactical kind of combat there. But yeah, it's a bit of a B-list game, but yeah, I think it sounds like if you can get past that, Funk's a man of impeccable taste, and it sounds like it certainly picks up. So. Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Thanks for that, Funk.
Every week we end the show with questions and comments sent in by you. If you've got anything for us, just pop an email to the JfG Podcast at gmail.com or contact us on Facebook, Twitter, or at justforgamers.co.uk.
Now it's time for JfG Street Beat.
You got a question we want to know. Street Beat. Facebook, Twitter, we're on them all. So hit us up and be on the show. Street Beat. The JfG Street Beat.
Street Beat.
We want to know.
Get on the show. Just trying to say it as weird as I can.
We've had some activity in the Discord this week, haven't we, buddy? Of course, you can join the Discord, buddies, if you want to
head to the fucking Discord, you
JfG Podcast.co.uk and can join the conversation, ask pod questions, so on and so forth. And JJ's been a bit busy, hasn't he, this week?
He's been about it. Cosmic Dad's been in there. You know, it's a lovely little place to be to. Fucking Mike Strider. I believe that's Michael Strong, isn't it, as well?
I believe so.
Michael Strong joined me on one of my Gears streams.
Very nice.
This week, which was lovely, getting involved. He had some fucking great advice during the stream. He was like, watch out for the bad guys.
He knows.
He fucking knows.
There you go.
Indeed,
JJ's
buddy.
made, he's been getting stuck in as Mr. Blonde. And obviously you set up some roles in the Discord, didn't you, this week, buddy?
I mean, it's now like a professional Discord now with different roles and shit that, you know, you can get. So everyone is a listener. Obviously, if you've ever donated to this show, you become a benefactor, as we always say. One of the greatest achievements probably in life.
Absolutely.
Maybe. Who knows? That's bullshit. And then obviously there's me and you, which are the podcasters. But, you know, I just thought, why not? These guys have fucking done, like, they've like given us money because of this for whatever reason. They've done it, and like we are very grateful for them. There's not a lot we can do for them, but I thought, hey, there we go. We'll give them some different colours in the Discord.
It's a hard gibbon, buddy. Yeah, I know, absolutely.
Buddy. And it's not apply for everyone else to give us money, because like that would be horrible. It's not why I did it. It's just because I thought, you know what, that's something you can do in Discord, and I had 10 minutes to kill.
Yeah, to use that zh sound again, buddy, I think what you were really doing was zhuzhing up the old Discord channel there, giving it a bit of a zhuzh. So
exactly, you know. I've also changed my nickname in there to JfG Ash instead of Champ McBeard, so people can relate.
Oh, very nice. I should probably do the same with my one.
There you go. I also, for some reason, I use like the standard loot colours of green, blue, and fucking gold, and whatever the other one is. I can't remember. And I put us as green because we're the shittest.
Yes. Yeah, with the gear that you just immediately toss away, that you might not even pick up.
You couldn't give a fuck about.
No. Shit on your shoes in many ways, buddies. There you go.
Oh, fuck. One thing, Cosmic Dad was in the chat this week. He was on about his 4K OLED TV and stuff like that. But he was saying that like it's completely changed his gaming on the PS4 Pro, which is a great thing. The other thing that he mentioned about, I'm trying to find it now here. He goes on about, here it is, right, so I'm still very behind on podcasts, so this may have been cleared up since. It hasn't. It is going to be now. I just listened to the one where you were on about Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, and both of you were whining about the controls in a way that tells me neither of you have finished the game, which is true.
Gibbon.
Blah 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 blah, and apparently that's the whole point of the game. If you haven't discovered this, finish the game. It's only about 2 or 3 hours long. So at the weekend, I was like, with my free time, I booted up A Tale of Two Sons or whatever it is, and found out that I only had 15 minutes left after completing it.
You were that close.
I was that close.
Nice.
So obviously I booted it up. I vaguely remember the story. It was a lovely, thing about two sons. They had to go on an adventure to find medicine to save their mum. I think it was their mum or their dad. Mum was dead. Mum was dead. They had to save their dad with the magical medicine. So I loaded it up. I'm at the Tree of Life where they get the medicine. And remembering that, this is total spoilers, by the way, that the older son gets fucking stabbed up. And he's dying on the floor. So little boy goes up, grabs the fucking medicine, comes back down. Something happens then, which is bad, aka his brother's dead. So you have to bury him, which is nice.
Yep.
Then you're making your way back home on this magical bird. And when
Walking
you get
fast,
and
you're homebound. Yep.
You're back home. And then it comes to a point where the little brother can't actually do the task, like swimming. And then it's like, oh, blah, 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 like make some magical sounds. And then you realize, oh, you can use the brother's powers on on his kid. And now he can swim because he's got to do it. And then he can pull the big lever, and his brother hasn't got to fucking do the whole co-op moment of boosting him up onto a platform. He can like jump up there himself. And I was like, oh, okay, that's obviously what he means. And then Cosmic Dad goes on and says, yeah, my point being that the weird controls trigger a bigger impact for that moment. In fact, is it even a moment without the controls being like they are? And I was like, fuck, in my mind, it was like Inception moment. Yeah,
no, it's true. He's got a point. I mean,
absolutely, like he's totally right. It's like, wow, that's because you've gone through that whole game. It's like, I can only use this character on this side of the thing, and now he can do this, and who knows? Would it be such a moment?
No, it wouldn't.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't be anything. Yeah.
The only other thing I'd say, probably coming back at that to a degree, is, as he says, is it even a moment without the controls being like they are? No.
No.
And nor is the game worth making if the controls aren't like they are.
Yeah.
And if the only reason that the game is interesting is because of its wacky control system, is it a good game? And if you don't like those controls, is there any reason to play it?
Yeah. But
so that's all I would say. I totally understand where he's coming from, and I, to be honest, I think like I certainly didn't give it the time it deserved, if I'm honest. But
I clearly
at the same
did.
Time,
bar 15 fucking minutes.
Yeah, you played through it. Well, you always said you quite liked it. It was just a very long time after you played it that I
love
did.
little puzzle games like that, buddy. They're cool.
I do.
And, it made me use my brain in a different way. It was weird.
I think for some reason I had it in my head, having never played it, that it was actually a co-op game where you could play as one of the two brothers.
Yeah.
And me and the missus fired it up, rather excited to play it, and then realised that it was
you could have just shared the controller.
We could have shared the controller, or we could have played something else, and that is what we did. But no. I mean, a game shouldn't be persecuted for having controls that are different to other games. Otherwise, things would never progress or be interesting. But I certainly couldn't get on with it myself. But there we go.
Sorry, buddy. I just totally remembered that was in the Discord. Another reason to join the fucking Discord, buddies. There you go.
Absolutely.
Get involved. You can do it on the website and our Twitch channel. I think that's the only places.
Yes, you can see it on there. Head to twitch.tv/the JfG Podcast or www.thejfgpodcast.co.uk and you can find the Discord link. Also, link to our Street Beat and anything else on there that you quite like the look of. So, thanks very much to everyone who's contributed this week. Much appreciated, buddies. Thanks very much. So I think that'll about do us, buddy, for episode 226 as the night draws in, and it's probably time for Wreckfest, I would imagine.
Okay. Sorry.
A piss and then Wreckfest, definitely. So it's been a good old time, and we're starting to get a little hankering for the game of buying games once more, buddy. It's been over a week since we last bought a game, so
Destiny's out soon, buddy. You know, we can get that.
Yeah, no, I was talking about games, buddy.
Okay.
Not shovelware Season 3.
To be honest, shock horror, buddy, I'm half tempted not to fucking buy it.
I don't know why you would. It's absolute insanity. But
kind of because I enjoy it.
I'll still back you if you...
Yeah.
I'll argue in your favour to the fucking...
Oh, I know.
Till the cows come home, buddy. That's what buddies do. But
I'm happy with that.
Baffling
Be weird
stuff.
if you didn't.
Gibbons.
It'd be weird if you came on one day and were like, yeah, Ash, Destiny 2, I've heard it's really good.
That would be interesting. Yeah, that would be interesting. No, I was saying that I would defend you for some reason against anyone who suggested that wasn't worth a purchase, because that's what friends are for, buddy. That's
Cheers,
what I would
buddy.
do. You're welcome.
Fucking
Gibbons.
legend.
There you go. And on that note, buddies, thanks very much for listening. And
I just want to say thanks for everyone joining on the live stream. We've had about 3 or 4 people, I think, getting involved. Apparently, we're stealing someone's name. I don't know who it is. I still don't know who it is. Puppet
who,
JF. Well, we had a message earlier. I'm trying to find it now. I can't find it now.
Stealing someone's name.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't really care.
Well, they should have mentioned that at some point within the first 200 episodes, buddy.
Possibly.
If we were stealing someone's name.
Yeah, I don't know.
But no. Unfortunately, that ship's flown.
We're stuck with it now.
It's all
I'm
over.
not changing the web address ever again.
No, it's too late.
Not
It's too
again
late.
now. Yeah.
I mean, no one would ever think to put those words in that order anyway, buddy. It's a completely
I
unique
don't think
thing.
it's the words. I think it's just like the initials or something. But I mean, you're gonna.
There was a
find that
Jumpers
anyway.
for Goalposts podcast.
I know, that's what I thought it was in the first place, but apparently it's not. There's someone else.
Right.
There's like a JfG Records, a JfG Pictures. I don't know.
Okay.
But also, I don't care.
Well, obviously not, and they'd all be very pleased to have us as the gaming
That's
podcast
true,
wing
yeah.
of their organisation.
Exactly.
So, you're welcome. In many
You are
ways.
welcome. There we go.
Thanks very much for getting in touch.
Gibbons, buddy.
Hopefully the check's in the post. So thanks very much for that.
Looking forward to it.
Cheers, buddies. We'll be back next week where we'll be
Indeed.
talking about video games again. Or perhaps some of our other organisations, JFG-related organisations. I don't know.
Femidoms.
Femidoms. Yeah, well, that's the big earner for us, of course, Femidoms. And, the reeds for clarinets is the other thing that we manufacture.
That's true. Right, let's finish this.
Right. Cheers for that. Off we go. Thanks very much, buddies. We'll catch you next time. Until then, I've been Alex. He has been Ash.
Goodbye.
Farewell. You've been listening to the JFG Podcast with Ash and me, Alex. You can find us at www.thejfgpodcast.co.uk, where you'll also find our Discord and Street Beat if you want to get involved with the show. Our Facebook is /the JFG Podcast, and our Twitter handle is @the JFG Podcast. We're on all those video streaming sites too, buddies, from TubeTube to twitch.tv /the JFG Podcast to mixer.com, aka beam.fucking-pro. We've got a PS4 community you can join, just search the JFG Podcast on there, and we're also on Google Plus if that is how you choose to live your life. Thanks so much for listening, buddies. We'll catch you next time.
Stimme spricht der Rät.